I don't think people on the right are willing to admit it. To the extent that I've spoken to them, they're not. But Bush is by most considered to be one of the worst presidents we've ever had. They will not admit that. They think that that's just those crazy liberal political scientists deciding
Who
that.
who says that? I didn't know that.
The overwhelming majority of political scientists in the political science community believe that Bush is among like probably the worst five or so presidents we've ever had. Um, Definitely
Why?
got us involved in decades long war after literally having one of his top cabinet officials lie about having evidence of. I mean, we invaded two countries under false pretenses and spent 20 years, $1 trillion, and 50,000 American lives fighting a war against a thing that can't be beat because it's not an entity, it's a concept. The war on drugs and the war on terror. Tell me what victory looks like. I don't know. I don't. When are we going to get all of terror's land? When are we going to force the government of drugs to submit to us? These are just like garbage sales techniques for violence. But all of that to say is that that's what people will remember Bush for. And Trump's got a much, much worse set of things. Obviously, he wins another election and comes out and now that presidents are essentially above reproach, and he can replace all of the. You should just read up on Project 2025 if you'd like to know the Republican platform's goal to restructure government as we know it, such that their minority, unpopular opinions can stay in power longer, I guess. Um, I don't know what it'll look like after another candidacy, but I know that if he were to never win again, he would be remembered for having his followers attack the federal government after his vice president refused to certify the election whereby he lost. Like that is what this man will be remembered for. And people on the right can come and tell you that I'm not saying that's from my perspective of I'm clearly left leaning, right? I'm saying this from the perspective of like people really remember presidents for like one or two things.
Yeah.
Did you do
Yeah.
something really, really good, or try to do something really, really good,
I think of
or did you?
Obamacare, with
Right,
Obama.
right. Which I could make an incredibly strong argument for being a complete perversion of what it was sold to us as and supposed to be. I think it's kind of the worst of both worlds. You have single payer and you have to use the existing insurance infrastructure. So basically, everybody has to lose now. That was what happened. Regardless, regardless, that's what he'll be remembered for, and being the first black president. That's that's not trivial. Bush will be remembered for 9/11 and using it as a pretext to invade countries and further destabilize the entirety of the Middle East, leading to a never-ending candidacy of people who hate us. Great, I guess we have justifications for future wars if we want them. Um, Clinton, I don't really know what I feel like. Clinton's probably remembered for the impeachment trial by some. Um, Clinton, by most metrics, is actually one of the more popular presidents in history. But I think that uh, I think that he's got a bit of a black spot there. It's like Nixon. What's Nixon remembered for?
Well, he got kicked out.
No, he didn't. He resigned.
Okay.
It's an
Well, he got
important distinction. It
he
was
resigned
impending,
right. Yeah, it was like he did it to kind of.
right? He was
Yeah.
impeached, but he was not confirmed
Okay.
in the Senate. Um, by
Well,
the
and
way,
then
I guess.
Watergate, right? Like I don't know what he did.
Well,
I don't
it's
even know
it's
what.
pretty fast. It's pretty fascinating. So, well, the Watergate tapes, right, are this evidence that's used in his trial. But this immunity case with Trump was pretty problematic reasoning as to the things that basically the president's immune from prosecution for things done in his official capacity, which wasn't really at issue in the case, but they decided they should just put that on the record anyway. But more problematic is ultimately you can't use evidence of any of these other things that occurred while he was president to determine whether or not it is a part of his official acts. So you can you can go and solicit bribes from foreign countries in exchange for government aid, or you can tape your political rivals and use it to manipulate your reelection odds, all from the office of the presidency, and it's presumptively immune. It's literally enshrined. So this is me saying Nixon would, under today's Supreme Court ruling, would have effectively been unimpeachable. But yeah,
Oh,
do
I
with
see what you're
that what
saying.
you will. But yeah, Nixon's clearly known for that, right? As things stand, people will remember Trump for, well, either COVID, um, which, he didn't cause, he just downplayed. And then, I don't know. I think that's probably a pretty challenging thing for people to deal with, but it's pretty fascinating in the same vein because I think 9/11 probably got Bush reelected. Uh, I don't know how you bungle COVID. Like, all you had to do was do reasonably well. He tried at the end to just write everybody checks, but it didn't work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what Biden's remembered for. This is probably going to be part of it, but
I don't know what Biden's big thing is either. I mean, I don't know. So
don't you like not having to read about your president in the news all the time? I do.